Your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Tone, you look like you're in a better spot than me, mate. Look at that.
Man, I just arrived in the Maldives for the financial summit. They gave me a little upgrade because I was just gonna stay cheap prior to the event starting. But I'm in one of the nicer villas here. You can see the private pool behind me, the ocean behind me. I was losing light. I just came out of a meeting, so I didn't have time to set up my proper HD camera. But there it is. Another view, a different view tomorrow with my actual proper webcam. And so right now I got to move my computer around. Look at this. This is absolutely awesome. Man, I can't believe you're not here, Matt. It's you are badly, badly missed.
Well, I'm missing myself not being there, mate. Hey, follow Tone on Instagram because I can't wait to see some of the stories that you post from that place, mate. I'll live vicariously through you. Look,
Yeah, the
this is
problem is I'm so busy hosting the actual event. I don't have time to record videos and post. I gotta tell everyone to just tag me and I repost.
yeah, that's better. Look, this might be our last show for a little while, maybe 2 weeks or something like that. You'll probably need a little break as well after the financial summit.
Well, maybe. Let's play it by ear, guys. We're gonna be playing it by ear every day. I don't know when I'll have time for a show and when I won't. Matt, we're gonna have to have you on somehow during the summit. Maybe we'll web you in or something. We'll figure it out. But we may do one show during the summit. We'll see, guys. Just no promises. We'll do our best to bring you information. All right. Why don't you
I tell
leave?
you what would be fun if you live stream the trading competition. I'll try and jump on the stream as well. That'd be great. Meet some of
Uh,
the guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The trading competition. I gotta figure that one out. Okay. Yeah, we might do that.
All right, let's go into the price because we got to go through a few things and we might not be on for a little while. Look, the price is sort of where it was the other day, probably exactly where it was the other day. I'm still not in any trade. I kind of want to enter a trade because I like the correction that we've had. I like that we stayed above the 50 simple moving average and the little response off it. I can see us closing this week above the 30 simple moving average and making a run for it. But I just can't enter a trade. And this is, Tone, you'll know about this as well. You've experienced this. I've got two oscillators right here offering two very different points of view. So for me, there's nothing I can do. So let's start with Socrates'
Right.
EXA.
You mean moving averages, but
No,
you actually meant oscillators.
I do mean oscillators. In fact, like we were starting here
Okay.
with the EXA. This is very, very, very low
Oh,
at
yeah.
minus.
Never mind. I was listening to you live, but I was watching you on a delay through YouTube. That's why I was confused on what you were pointing and what you were saying didn't match.
Gotcha. Well, let me try and fumble my way through it. Look,
Uh,
it hasn't crossed yet at all, right? So there's nothing to get too excited yet. It does need at least a bounce to cross over or time, but it's low, right? I mean, I could see us having a bit of a chop zone where it does cross, but it's not the official breakout cross and then crossing negative again and meandering like it does at times. But it is to a point where I'm very, very interested in it. Do you know, this is what I wait for. Sometimes I wait like a year or so to get an action like this where it has this really low vantage point to get the cross in. So that on one hand, I'm excited about that. But on the other hand, the Copic curve, which I really, really, really like and really trust, looks as negative as you can get, right? Once again, we could get a bounce and stay above the zero line and whatever, but this is just not where you want to be buying on the Copic curve at all. You want to be buying on the buy side when it crosses back above the zero line once again, which you can see in these couple of times here. So look, I mean, I'm put in a position where the EXA is interesting, the Copic curve is not interesting, bullish, I should say, and I'm left doing nothing. And unfortunately, that's where I'll have to remain. So I have to go back to other things, which puts me back in the same position I was in Monday, where I'm just going to see if the bottom's going to fall out of this, and I'm going to get a really, really, really good chance to load up on Bitcoin. Now, looking at the weekly time frame right now, we are on the EMA. I can definitely see a chance of getting oversold here on the EMA, and that would be something I'd be very, very interested in. If we starting to get below the 50 simple moving average here, looking at the weekly, it's it's quite a scary thought that we could, like, just looking at this right now, the 50 simple moving average looks good. It looks intact, just like it was, in previous times where we came back down and retouched it. But eventually breaking through it, I'm seeing downside, guys. I'm seeing a lot more downside. So what do I do? Where do I go from here? Well, because the weekly green diamond is near but not in yet, I would drop down to the 3-day time frame on Alpha Metrics. Links in the description below for 30% off. Now, this has been bearish on the 3-day time frame, so since mid-February. Now, I really like the chances of us getting a 3-day green diamond, which I'll point a few out to you as they come in. They're just like the weekly green diamonds. They don't happen all that often, but they're absolutely fantastic when they do. They signal really good times to buy. I mean, they caught the bottom of the crash here, and Tone uses them on a different Tone uses them when they regain their position. I like them on the catching a knife. That was great when we caught the COVID crash. They've been great right through time. Now, they're not as effective as the 3-day green diamonds, but they happen a bit more often than the 3-day green diamond. So if you were looking at dollar cost average, the 3-day green diamond is the best you'll get, except for the weekly green diamond. They're catching all these dollar cost averaging is the way to go. I don't like dollar cost averaging in general, except for if you have like a catalyst. So for me, like a 3-day green diamond is a great catalyst to start your DCA into the price. And look, it's on the cards right now. I don't know where it could come in, but it essentially could come in if we start to crack below 78 and that have a big push down. I think you'll get a 3-day green diamond. And for a long-term position in Bitcoin, that's as good as you'll get, except for the weekly green diamond. So that's where I'm looking right now. Uh, the daily time frame is just doing the classic dip, higher low up to the 30, higher low up to the 7, and we're back inside below the 200. We're below all of 4 of my moving averages on the daily time frame. So it's not good. It's not a positive place to be. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching Bitcoin right now, unfortunately. 4-hour time frame. It's look, I thought we had a chance here when we put the low in and we came back and it just didn't clear any moving averages, and now it's rolling over once again. Look, I think if we can get above on the lower term for a swing trade, above sort of, well, I could probably make it even higher, above sort of like 84, I could see us pushing up a bit and getting a good swing trade in, at least $1,000 move back to the 50 moving average, and maybe on upwards from there. But from here, this position right here, I'm not interested in Bitcoin. Before I come back to you, Tone, check out the new Black Box website, completely revamped website. We spent a lot of time and a lot of money developing this. It's absolutely brilliant. We've got 3 bots on offer right now and more coming as we speak. They're more position trade bots, no more scalping bots. I think it looks really fantastic, and it's getting some real big pop. So I'm coming back to you right now, Tone. I
I
Yeah, I turned the wrong tab off.
lost your audio.
Yeah, I turned the wrong tab off.
Same thing
Yeah,
actually for a second.
and I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. Look, I'm sorry, I don't have anything exciting to bring you on the price of Bitcoin. I just feel like it's liminal space. I can't pick a direction, and I'm not ready to put my money into it. But if things drop down, I'm looking for great buy the dips, and if things kick off, I'll just steady up and re-enter. But as it stands, I've been 3 weeks out of the market, and I'm not looking to get back in. Please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. We're not going to be around for a little while, so tell your friends, and we'll
No,
kick it off
I'm gonna
again.
try. I'm gonna do my best to do a stream tomorrow. I'm actually going diving tomorrow. I got a bunch of stuff done today, And I actually didn't realize this resort did have diving. I thought they didn't, but that's also because when I was here 11 months ago, I never even thought of going diving ever in my
Mm.
life, right? And time flies. Like I feel, and I would have had no idea if this resort offered diving or not because diving was never a thought in my head. And now I have 5 certifications. I have
And you're right
five
into it.
specialties. I have 5 specialties now: deep diving, night wreck diving, advanced, and obviously the beginner open water. And
Oh, mate, I
I did all that in the last 6 months.
I got offered that karate combat fight like 6 weeks ago, a month before the fight, and I'd never heard of karate combat, never watched mixed martial arts really in my life. And you should see my Instagram feed now. It's like full of UFC fighters who are friends of mine. It's like it's just nothing but MMA right now. You can change hobbies pretty quickly if you go all in. All
Yep.
right. How do we feel about the price, Tone? Are you ready to get back long, or are you still waiting like I am?
You know what? Let's charts and find out together because I have not looked at charts in a couple of days. All right, here's the weekly chart. Look, I like this candle, but not as much as I liked the candle 2 weeks ago. So everything I'm about to say is everything I said 2 weeks ago, but now I am actually a little less confident, even though we made new lows. I know this may sound a little weird and strange, but it's just the way it is. The good news, another moving average. That's a plus sign. That's good. But we are now on a 5 within the MRI indicator. The week is more than halfway over, and the probability is increasing that you may need to wait for an MRI buy uh, probably early April. Sorry, early May. Right now we're in the middle of March, so we got 4 more weeks. So no, it will be mid to late April. So 4 more weeks. We got 4 more weeks of waiting for a potential MRI buy. Let's actually glance at the oscillators because things could have gotten a little wacky. So you already talked about the MSR. I'm not going to get into that. I really like the CMF. The CMF is very, very strong. It remains strong. The MACD looks like a total disaster. And the, man, how do I get this up? And the RSI also looks like a disaster, but the RSI looks like a disaster that could come to an end in the near future, while the MACD looks like a disaster that's only getting started. This is between those two particular oscillators. What about the daily chart? Well, the daily chart uh, is not ideal. The daily chart is concerning for multiple reasons. One is we count, which in a way sets us up for 2 more weeks of downside because I want that MRI buy opportunity. And we didn't get it. So now we can reset the MRI and start a brand new leg going down. The daily chart also rallied into the 200-day moving average and then got rejected. So if tomorrow is a bearish down day, you have to assume that we are headed to new lows, which is unfortunate, but that's very likely going to be the outcome. So we have about 24 hours to get back above the 200-day moving average. And it's not often we break the 200-day moving average and then immediately recapture it. We did it over here back in July, but ultimately we never made it to new highs and ultimately made new lows. The daily chart's looking pretty scary. I'm with Matt. I am not rushing into any long trades right now. You got to take max. Anything interesting on the oscillators? The MACD is actually promising to potentially cross over. That's a bullish sign. Uh, the CMF is also in the green, and it's been in the green for an entire month. That's a very good sign. I see those as very positive. And the daily MSR is not great, but it is showing some nice bullish divergence because we were able to cross over at a higher level with the price going lower. So this is showing us some nice divergence here as the price going lower, but the indicator is not. I'm not crazy familiar with this indicator,
How do
but
you how
divergence
do
is
you
divergence.
how do you work with like the situation that I pointed out and that you're actually pointing out now as well, where you've got multiple indicators or oscillators telling you multiple different scenarios? I know that could be true for anything, but I like them when they all line up. You know, do you just stay away from the market completely,
You
or is that what, or do you try and pick one that you like the most and run with that?
No, I mean, I do rank some more important than others, but in general, you want them lined up. You don't
Right.
want to, it tells me that there is a chance and maybe they'll line up in the near future. You also see divergence in the RSI. That is also a very good sign. I like the divergence here. So that's bullish, right? So even though uh, the uh, the RSI does not look good, the divergence makes it promising. So on a daily scale, period moving average, and it's dropping like a stone. So let's see if we can get above that. Maybe if we could, the best case scenario is a consolidation into Monday, Tuesday, and then a breakout above 86,000 on Tuesday. Promising. If we can break out on Tuesday uh, into a MRI buy candle, all we got to do is recapture the blue moving average, and we're kind of good. Where I know the 128 day is going to be a problem, but if we can make it above this rejection point that we dealt with earlier in the month, I think we're ready for new highs.
Yeah, I agree. But I think all eyes are also on the US stock market and world stock markets, to be clear as well. That's troublesome. And I think that's not helping Bitcoin at all.
Well, what's not helping Bitcoin at all is the current hour.
Mm.
But we are going into the 10 a.m. reversal here on the daily chart.
Yeah, that looks bad,
So
dude.
let's see on a shorter. Oh, sorry, yeah. And the 10-minute chart looks very promising, and the 5-minute chart looks very promising. Let's compare it to
This is the
uh,
issue.
the. Yeah, that is an issue. That is an issue. How close are we to a daily MRI buy? Loading, loading, loaded. All right. So next week, we're looking at an MRI buy next week on the S&P. That could be promising. The week, I mean, Trump is not going to keep allowing the stock market to fall.
Yeah,
He's
I
going to
was
do
just gonna say that.
something.
Yeah.
He's going to do something, right? Like it doesn't take much for the stock market to go up. Let me tell you what can make the stock market go to new all-time high. Trump making a random tweet that he has instructed the IRS to give him a proposal how to remove or significantly lower capital gains taxes. All he has to do is say it. He doesn't have to do it. If he says the market will be at a new all-time high within 2 days.
Yeah, and I'd be packing my bags to move to America.
So will half the world. Um, so it doesn't take much to reverse the stock market. Now, I hope he doesn't just yap about it, but if the stock market starts to crash, that is the ultimate wild card. All you got to do is say people investing in the stock market don't have to pay taxes on that shit, and you will see what I've been predicting for a decade, an instant move to double the stock market from 6,000 to 12,000. This has been on my charts for almost a decade, and it's supposed to start around now.
Hmm. Let's do it.
And then this happens. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about that after we get to 12,000. Oh, look at gold. Holy mother of Christ. Wow. Wow. I'm going to have to think this over for the rest of the week and then get back to you guys. This is my no trade week because it follows an MRI buy. And this consolidation is so bullish. But this monthly MRI top is so bearish. So we're gonna, if you forgot to sell your gold on the MRI tops, don't sell yet. There may be one more daily blow off top coming.
Look at that pattern there, that W pattern. That looks unbelievably good. I wish
I
Bitcoin looked like
mean,
that.
this looks like a beautiful breakout in
It sure does, yeah.
gold. Gold is counter trading the market. Bitcoin is correlated with the stocks. Gold's going up. Something is happening. Something doesn't smell right here. Maybe it's India. Maybe it's China. Maybe it's Russia. Maybe it's the BRICS. They're accumulating. Maybe they're going to make an announcement. I mean, maybe they're waiting to see how the U.S. versus Russia negotiations on the end to the Ukraine war happens, and if it doesn't go, if maybe the BRICS are going to announce some kind of a gold-backed thing. Something is off. Gold should be more correlated with Bitcoin and the stocks. And I don't think that the stocks and Bitcoin are wrong. So it's gold. Gold's the outlier. So something is driving the last 3 days in an upward swinging gold price.
Yeah,
The
the stock market price is crashing. That's what's driving the price of gold up.
usually crashes as well when the stock market crashes. Gold is not a hedge against the stock market. Bonds usually go up when the stock market crash, not gold. Gold crashed 33% in the '08 crisis. Gold is not a savior during a stock crash. People go broke during a stock crash. They lose their jobs, and they sell their gold to buy food. So gold is not a hedge against a stock market crash. Gold is a hedge against uncertainty, but not a hedge against a stock market crash. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. And we'll take a look at Max Payne going into tomorrow. So it looks like we should be bullish going into tomorrow. Nope, no more. Looks like we're not bullish going into tomorrow. We're neutral. Where the stock price and Max Payne are in line. So we're bullish going into next week. Harder to move. So we are bullish going into next week. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. And I haven't even paid attention to what the ETFs are doing. And I will see you all. Well, we'll see you all hopefully tomorrow Let me just wait for this to refresh. Man, it's a lot of selling from the ETFs. A lot of selling, man. It's been a absolute carnage in the ETF world. Okay. Look at this, 40,000
Jesus.
Bitcoin sold last month, and this month we're probably already at 20,000 sold. We're lucky Bitcoin price is still this high
Yeah.
in the 80s. All right, guys. That's it. Matt, close us out.
Yeah, look, this will be the theme of the next, unfortunately, few weeks. We're looking for opportunities now. I'm personally not bullish on Bitcoin as it stands. I'm in no long positions. I'm still in all the hodl positions, obviously, but I'm not trading. But I'm stacking sats ready to let loose, whether that's at a market capitulation or a recovery. But I'm just concerned about the price right now. I think you'd be wise to do the same. But look for the opportunities, just like we had in all the other great crashes. You would have seen me talking about them. I always pick them up, and that's what we're doing now. Tone, we'll try and bring some more shows throughout the next weeks, but it'll be spotty, guys. So go Bitcoin. See you soon.
Awesome. Later. Oh, wait, I'm going to stop this.